We welcome you to Supply Chain and Logistic Competition Phase 2. We are presenting case study on digital supply chain transformation, current scenario analysis, and future aspects of the apparel industry in Bangladesh. We are presenting myself, MD Mamunur Rashid, and my other team members are SOURAV GHOSH and MD SADMAN TUSHAN from Department of Industrial and Production Engineering, Bangladesh University of Textiles. Here is our presentation outlines. We'll cover through introduction, traditional supply chain management versus digital supply chain management, SWOT analysis of supply chain management of apparel industry, current scenario of supply chain management in apparel industry, problems in current supply chain management 4.0, and at last conclusion. The apparel industry in Bangladesh has got a greater phase than any other sector in terms of growth and foreign exchange earnings. Around 80% of the foreign earnings are earned by this apparel and garments industries. It creates a significant contribution to the national economy by the enormous opportunity and reducing poverty through socio-economic development. It has been the key driver of Bangladesh export for last 4 years. But despite of this unquestionable success story, this industry has got a number of formidable challenges for future growth. To overcome these challenges, proper steps need to be taken. Bangladesh regional peers like China, India, Vietnam are equipping factories with Apparel 4.0 technologies. So in traditional supply chain management, it includes strategic management of activities involved in acquisition and conversion of materials to finished products delivered to the customer. In traditional supply chain management, it doesn't have control and comparability is flexible, but its cost is variable. Traditional supply chain doesn't possess backdoor inventory. Supply chain 4.0. Supply chain 4.0 is the reorganization of supply chain by design and planning, production, distribution, consumption, and reverse logistics. Using these technologies that are known as Industry 4.0, in this process of supply chain, control is centralized, it has traceability, and also the product safety capability. Here we can see the traditional supply chain management versus digital supply chain management. In the traditional supply chain model, the sequential steps by supplier, production, then distribution and customer. In every stage, there is a planning phase and order confirmation phase. But in the integration supply chain system, all elements of the supply chain is controlled by a central system which is called supply chain control tower. Then parallelly, customer and consumers, distribution, production and supplier, all these four entities are coordinated by the central supply chain control tower. Here we can see in the transparency, limited view of supply chain is shared in the traditional supply chain model, but complete view of supply chain can be shared by fourth entity. Information delayed as it moves through each organization, but in the digital supply chain, information is available to all supply chain members simultaneously. In the collaboration system, limited visibility to entire supply chain, such as only supplier give the information to production people. The production people can have the information from supplier and give the information to the distribution. But in the digital supply chain, all the information can be shared collaboratively. In the flexibility, the end customer demand is distorted as information flow along the material path. But in the digital supply chain, end customer demand changes are rapidly assessed by all the four entities. Responsiveness, in traditional supply chain, the responsiveness is hampered because delays and unsynchronized responses across the multiple tiers. But in the digital supply chain, real-time response on planning and execution level can be carried out. SWOT analysis of supply chain management, digitalization. We have estimated that good grab and reputation over the market of textile and garments industry. We have huge manpower, increasing number of graduates from technical and textile background, foreign employees rising in garment sector, wide ranges of port facilities, FDI is legally permitted in our country, convenience of duty-free custom, bonded warehouses. The weakness of our apparel industry, lack of skilled manpower with modern technological and practical knowledge. We have traditional education system, lack of initiatives regarding digitalization of RMG sector, lack of training organization for industrial workers, industrial supervisors, and industrial managers, speed money culture, time consuming customer clearance system, lack of automation and machineries required to speed up the supply chain digitalization, limited knowledge of international marketing information. There are some opportunities. Huge manpower can be turned into skilled workforce, which is our opportunity. Unemployment problem can be solved. Internal economic growth will be increased. Increased concern regarding Industry 4.0. Threat is increasing the foreign employee, which is a threat. Increasing the remittance by foreign employee. Government deprived of getting proper taxes from them. Less participation of female worker for introduction of modern equipment. I welcome my team member SOURAV Kumar Ghosh to continue from here.
Thank you, MD Mamunur Rashid. So in this case, we are here in our current scenario of apparel supply chain management. It starts with inquiry of a product, then lead time, then costing is done. After that, order confirmation, then purchasing order, guarantee of payment. After doing that, fabric and accessories are booking. And then back-to-back LC is done, sampling is done, then fabric and accessories in-house, inspection of material and report making. After that, pre-production meeting is done. Here, different types of manpower is involved, such as factory merchandisers, factory QC, pattern maker, cutting in charge, production manager, and so on. After that, pattern and marker making for bulk production is done. Production line setup, then the process goes to the trial or pilot, and after that cutting, bulk cutting, numbering is also done. Then sorting, sewing, and table inspection is done. After that, the final finishing is done. Then the initial inspection is done. After that, the final inspection is done. If the final inspection is done, if all the demands are met, then the delivery to the customer is done. So this is our current supply chain for apparel sector. So this current supply chain has some problem. First problem is that the lead time is very higher for such system, and reprocess or rework is also done frequently. And wastage, the amount of wastage is also higher, and the cost is very expensive for this type of chain. So we have some solution for this system. We go to the supply chain management 4.0, which is called SCM 4.0. The first probable solution is to make our system digitalized or visualized. We have to go to the 3D visual sampling. One of the biggest challenge faced by apparel manufacturers is getting development samples done on time. So if the 3D visual sampling is done with buyer and supplier, we can go with the flow and the lead time will be reduced. After that, the automation in cutting room will be done. Patterns that are developed or digitalized in a CAD system are simultaneously prepared in a suitable format for cutout by an automatic cutter. Lines, notches, drill holes, and other marks are also done by cutter software. So this automation can reduce the operating time, and accuracy can be increased. Then come to the end-to-end process. This process describes a process that takes a system or service from beginning to end and delivers a complete functional solution. It replaces Excel and email by centralizing information and processes in one cloud-based system, can deliver one truth, real-time information visibility, increased decision-making speed, reduction of errors, clarification of roles and responsibilities, and so on. So this is the end-to-end business process improvement. It starts with logistics, planning, operations, quality, sales, and customer service, procurement, and inventory management. Finally, the financing is also done. All the process is linked with end-to-end business process improvement. The another probable solution is the digitally enabled capacity planning. The capacity planning is digitalized by enabling capacity planning to go to the next level, linking a company's strategic planning and cooperate objectives with an operational plan to make it happen. A better capacity planning process can not only boost up revenue but also provide a true competitive advantage. As companies adopt multinational, multi-vendor, dual sourcing strategies, digitally enabled capacity planning can help identify constraints earlier in the process and accelerate allocation decisions. More than two-thirds of sourcing executives expect to have digitally enabled capacity planning in place, helping them to allocate production capacity more efficiently and identify the bottlenecks earlier. Then this is our digitally enabled capacity planning. It starts with the number one strategic capacity planning. After that, the annual budgeting planning is also done. Then rough cut capacity planning is done. And after that, capacity requirement planning is done. And last stage of it is the detailed production planning, where the frequency and level of details are more higher than the previous one. Then, come to the WFX cloud-based ERP tool. WFX Cloud ERP is exclusively designed for apparel manufacturing and sourcing industry to track all business operations from production to costing and delivery. So here we all the time and action tracking can be visualized. All the process, shipment, invoicing, sampling, costing, quality control, inventory control, production planning, process, all the things related to the ERP will be monitored simultaneously and real time observation can be done. Then we have some short-term planning and long-term planning. Uh, in short-term planning, to arrange workshop by foreign organization regarding supply chain 4.0, to encourage people and workers to develop skill in technical and automation sector. For long-term planning, implementation of cloud computing and Internet of Things will be done, and application of advanced robotics and analytics of big data will also be done. So then we come to the McKinsey supply chain compass map. It is the map where SCM 4.0 improvement layers to 6 main value drivers. All the 6 drivers can be developed and can be improved through this compass map. So this is the compass map. It starts with supply chain strategy, where dynamic network configuration and micro segmentation is done. Then it goes to the planning stage, the different types of planning is also done here. And then it goes to the physical flow, which is our raw material flow, which comes from the planning stage. It actually executes the planning stage. uh, what plan demands, it executes that the things. And then it goes to the performance management, where online transparency, digital performance management is done. And after that, it goes to the order management. And after completing the order, it goes to the collaboration stage, where the supply chain cloud is collaborated. All these things are the part of McKinsey supply chain compass map. So this is the 4 stage of supply chain maturity. In stage 1, digital novice will be done, where the discrete supply chain processes will be explained. And after that, vertical integrator, where company-wide process and data model continuously will be measured. And third stage is the horizontal collaborator, where global supply chain collaboration will be made. And final stage, last and final stage, is the digital champion, where where the ecosystem will be enabled by digital omni-channel solutions. First 2 stage are called transitional stage, and last 2 stage is called mature stage. So we come to our conclusion. From this solution and feasibility analysis, we can be assured about the importance of digitalization of supply chain management in current apparel industry in Bangladesh. We believe the above steps and planning will make changes in the sector with necessary arrangement and implementation of proper initiatives. So that's all from us. Thank you. Thank you all the organizers, and to give us the chance to present our ideas with you. And these are our contact information. If you have any queries about our case solving, you can contact with us. Thank you.